Good afternoon, everyone. So this is our last class on Science and Tech under the EKLAVYA program. So what we have been doing so far? Almost like current affairs, Science and Tech, most of the questions come from current affairs. And we have extensively covered the current affairs topics under these current ed sessions that is in YouTube. Now, so under this session, these two classes, we were more focusing on basic general science type of question from current affairs. Especially if you are from non-science background, you should take this seriously. At least 1-2 question comes every year from general sciences or basics. On the other hand, this basics is very much essential, at least in this biotechnology related questions answer. We have done this PYQs. In PYQs also, like so many new technology is being asked, but if you know the basic, what exactly DNA does, what exactly RNA does, if these basic things you are very clear about, you can go about finding answers in those questions also. So application level also these classes may be helpful. Let's go ahead, answer the first question first. बैठो आंसर करो जल्दी, टाइम वेस्ट मत करो, इधर देख के आंसर करो, क्वेश्चन पेपर नहीं है तो। हो गया? टेल मी व्हाट इज आंसर? क्या बोल रहे? बी. एनी अदर? डी. Which of the following is incorrect with respect to resistivity of various materials? The resistivity of conductors increases with the rise in temperature. What exactly is the resistivity? XYZ current is passing through a material, there will be resistance to the current flowing through this. But this resistance depends on physical properties of the material. If the wire is thin, it will have higher resistance compared to a thick wire. Resistance is dependent on physical dimensions. On the other hand, resistivity of a material, resistivity is dependent on, this is a characteristic property of a material. This depends on which kind of material this resistance is made of. If there is more alloy, more copper alloy, it may conduct electricity better. It is not dependent on material size. It may 1 kg of the material you take, 100 kg of the material you take, property will be remain same. Now compare to the what happens to resistivity when temperature rises. First case is conductors. Conductors means mostly what we assume? Mostly metals. In metals, how this conduction is happening? Electrical conduction is happening. In metals, what is the characteristic? There will be lattice. Lattice means structure of molecules or atoms of the metals will be arranged in a specific lattice. Now there will be some free electrons moving out of it. Suppose in sodium is the element, there is one free electron in the outermost orbit. That electron is called valence electron. Now if sodium, just remove this valent electron from this, it becomes Na plus. Na plus is a most very stable structure compared to this having one electron. So sodium or other metals always have a tendency to remove this electron. So this electron will act as a free electron that is available. So within the lattice there will be free electrons contributed by all these metals. Now with increase in temperature, what happens? Increase in temperature means vibration and energy level increases. Lattice vibration increases, then energy level, whatever the electrons or subatomic particles is having, it will have more energy. More energy means tendency of this valence electron to again come out of this increases. That is one part. If more electrons are coming, resistivity should decrease. But there is lattice vibration element also. With increasing lattice vibration, what happens? Lattice vibration increases means more electrons come and collide with this. Then the resistivity decreases. Resistivity will increases. Amount of current it can pass through it will decrease. So what is the dominant effect here? Because already we have so much valence electrons, this is not a dominant effect. Here dominant effect is lattice vibrations. This happens in conductance. So with increase in temperature, resistivity of most of the conductor, especially metals, will increase. Now take the case of semiconductor or not insulators. What happens with insulators? Same two effect will be there. One is lattice vibration increases. If lattice vibration is increasing, the ability to pass current will become difficult. On the other hand, if there is an insulator, there is probability, if it is a plastic, earlier it was a long material, with increase in temperature, the disintegration of the plastic happened, or the composition of the material even changes. So if it decomposing into smaller particles, then this may be better conductor than the earlier material. So in this case, resistivity decreases, but with lattice vibration increases. Now which one here become dominant depends on what is the range of temperature, which material you are using. It is very difficult to exactly, like in conductors we are exactly saying with increase in temperature resistivity increases. Here it is little bit difficult to exactly predict this. Now take the third case of semiconductors. What is a semiconductor? We told this in metals. Why metals are good conductors? Because this valence electrons is freely available. Here there is no such valence electron. That's why insulators, this plastic, rubber and all have insulator characteristic. Now semiconductor is something that comes in between. There is valence electrons if the material is given certain amount of energy. Only if certain amount of energy is given into this material, then the material will create more valence electrons, or in exactly in p-n junction semiconductors, it will create more electron hole pairs, and number of or density of electron hole pairs is governing the resistance or conductivity of a semiconductor. Now with increase in temperature, number of more electrons will jump out of its original position. So more electron hole pairs, more conductance will happen. So resistivity will be falling in case of a semiconductor. Now try to answer this question. Resistivity of conductor increases with increase in temperature. This is generally a correct statement. Resistivity of semiconductor decreases with rise in temperature. Resistivity decrease करता है, conductivity increase करता है in kind of semiconductors. Both these statements are correct. We are told to identify incorrect statement. So answer here is D. Question from very basics. Answer the second question first. In answer book it is given C. Change it to D. First question answer. Key that is provided to you. हो गया? think Ramjet we discussed in the class. What exactly is scramjet and Ramjet? Thing is, usually this space shuttle or missiles, when they are being launched, it has two components. One is oxidizer, then is fuel. Now these two will combine in the combustion chamber. These will be mixed and this will be combustion will be happening. And this combustion will produce the thrust to propel the whichever spacecraft or any other materials. Now what this scramjet as well as Ramjet, both this engine does is, instead of carrying the oxidizer, because weight of the spacecraft is one determining criteria. Weight determines how much lift, how much satellite you can carry, how much range you can achieve. Everything is defined on weight of the satellites and how much fuel and oxidizer you have. So instead of carrying this oxidizer, oxygen is already available in the atmosphere. So these engine try to only carry fuel and try to take the atmospheric oxygen and use that oxygen for combustion purpose. Now what is the challenge when we are using atmospheric oxygen? This oxygen, these missiles will be flying at very high altitudes, like 50 kilometer, 80 kilometer height. At this high, pressure of atmospheric gases including oxygen will be very less. So what we need is these gases has to be compressed to a level such that the temperature and pressure is enough to create the combustion. Now this combustion is happening by ramming process. Ramming process means if satellite is moving like this, there will be a chamber created for this. If it is moving in this direction, air will come here and the area for the air continuously decreases. And this continuous pushing of the air into a smaller area, this will give the compression to it. Now after this compressed air, it will go to combustion chamber. Now if this combustion chamber, the air is moving in subsonic speed, that kind of engine we call it as Ramjet engine. If after the combustion, then the exhaust will go to the nozzle outside of the rocket, then thrust will be generated. So if the whole flow is happening at supersonic speed, then we call it as scramjet engine. If at the combustion chamber, the flow is happening at subsonic speed, then we call it as Ramjet engine. What else? Speed range is, Ramjet is used for till 5 Mach number. Scramjet is used for beyond 5 hypersonic speeds, it is mostly preferred for. Both this engine has a great disadvantage in application. What is it? This cannot operate at ground level. You have to reach a specific speed so that the air ramming can happen. At the ground level, you need some other engine to take the aircraft from the ground to the higher speed. After reaching a speed, only this Ramjet or scramjet engine can be used or propelled. So these are all the basics of it. You can read the detailed comparison here. Let's try to answer this question. In scramjet engine, compression of air occurs due to forward speed of the aircraft. This is the ramming process, exactly correct. The combustion takes place at supersonic airflow. We are talking about scramjets. S is the supersonic flow, it happens. Correct statement. Scramjet engine are used in propulsion systems of hypersonic missiles. Hypersonic is for scramjet. Scramjet is the high speed engines. All the statements are correct. Answer here is D. Let's move ahead. This is the detailed comparison. Here subsonic is not there. It is all used for basically supersonic engines. Up to Mach 5 we call it as Mach 5 or Mach 6. What is Mach number? What is the speed of missile? By speed of sound in that XYZ medium. If it is going at a higher altitude, at that temperature, pressure, what is the sound of speed? That will define the Mach number, not the normal temperature sound of speed of sound. Go ahead. Answer the third question first. What is the answer? B. D. B. Quasi-satellite. What exactly is this? There is something very complicated with the name. What do you call a satellite? If there is a sun and sun is orbited by a planet, this is sun, this is, we call it as planet. If some celestial body is rotating around this planet also, we call it as satellite. Now here, if you take by the name of this quasi-satellite, we may take that satellite is something that orbit around the planet. But quasi-satellite are those bodies which actually rotate around the sun, or even may not rotate. It follow a very complex shape of their path, may not be following a proper rotation. But if you look from the Earth, the time period of Earth as well as the satellite will be same. Since they have same time period, if you look from the Earth, you will see that, or you will find that it is rotating around the Earth. But technically it is not rotating around the Earth, it is rotating around the sun itself. And it even may be not rotating, it may be following a non-circular or non-elliptical or open orbit. So this is like simple representation. This is the orbit of a quasi-satellite, and this is the orbit of Earth or the planet that is going on. This quasi-satellite is actually moving around the sun, not around the planet. So what will be our answer here? Or object that orbits sun with orbital period similar to that of Earth. That is correct option. C is the correct option. Go ahead. Answer the fourth question first. What is the answer? Iron air batteries are considered a breakthrough in battery technology. In this context, consider the following statements. Incorrect आपको find करना है. While charging the battery, it converts rust into iron. How to answer this question? Iron to rust. You just give the atmosphere, like H2 atmosphere around, then this will react and will naturally form rust. Why this reaction is happening? Because this is having Gibbs energy, or this is feasible reaction under the normal XYZ conditions. delta G is negative for this reaction, so this will happen anyway. Now take the condition rust, you have to get back iron. This is not a natural reaction, this will not happen naturally. So if this reaction has to happen, what you have to give? You have to give energy. Now giving energy is called as charging the battery. This process is called as discharging the battery. Now try to associate. While charging the battery, rust convert to iron. Exactly correct statement. Logically it is matching it. First statement should be correct. It can store up to 100 hours of electricity. Actually this is quite tough statement, because recently there has been researches. This iron air battery that is not being used too much, because its efficiency is too low, because its time how much you can use is too low. But recently there has been breakthrough where 100 hours of lifetime batteries has been discovered in this iron air batteries. So this is taken from current affairs. This statement is also correct. Electrolyte used in this iron air battery is air. Air is not an electrolyte. What is electrolyte exactly? There will be a H2O solution or there will be aqueous solution that is used as an electrolyte, not exactly air. So this is the basic working of this statement. This third statement is incorrect. You have to find incorrect. Here answer is 3 only. Go ahead, answer the fifth question first. बताओ क्या आंसर है? क्या? A. D. What is pH? What is exactly pH? Measurement of H plus ions. What pH in logarithmic scale? What pH scale means? What is the range of pH scale? From 0 to 14. 0 means highly acidic. Acidic means what? There will be full of H plus ions. Now 14 means it will be basic. That means OH minus ions will be in full concentration. In between you will have 7. 7 means neutral, you can call it as. Now come to this question. Lemon juice. Lemon juice have citric acid. If you have basic knowledge, it has citric acid. Citric is an acidic statement. So lemon juice will be something somewhere here. Now next is milk of magnesia. Where you have heard this milk of magnesia? Yesterday we have seen this digestive system map. In digestive system, stomach contains hydrochloric acid. Acidity problem means higher production of hydrochloric acid. So if there is high production of hydrochloric acid in the stomach, to neutralize that, people drink milk of magnesia, or this solution will be given to people. Now if people are drinking this for high acidity, means this is alkaline solution or basic solution. So milk of magnesia will be somewhere here, and it will not be too extreme. Why? Because people are drinking means too acidic thing you cannot drink, too basic thing also you cannot drink. It will be somewhere in the middle of this. Now third one is caustic soda. What is caustic soda? It is, if you at least remember the formula, you can answer it very easily. Dishwash bar and all this. Formula is NaOH, sodium hydroxide. NaOH means it will readily split into Na plus and OH minus. This is a fully basic or fully alkaline component. NaOH will come here. So what is the order? First one is lemon juice, second one is milk of magnesium, third one is caustic soda. D 1, 2, 3 is the correct answer. Answer the sixth question first. What is the answer? The speed of light in glass is less than that of vacuum. Is that correct? With the denser medium, light speed will decrease. In glass, frequency of light decreases while wavelength remains constant. Actually, if you look at frequency and wavelength, how they are related? C is equal to, where C is the speed of light in, where C is the speed of light in vacuum, F is the frequency and lambda is the wavelength of the light. Now if C is decreasing in light means either frequency should decrease or wavelength should decrease. Either one of the property should decrease. Now which one should decrease? If you look at the invisible light, it has a frequency range between 400 nanometer to 700 or 750 nanometer, around these ranges. Now this one is, this is violet or blue color here, and here we will have red color. This violet color or red color, that is defined by frequencies of, frequency is the defining criteria. Now suppose a blue light is entering a glass, does it become green or does it become any other color in exit? It is becoming blue itself. The speed is decreasing, but it is remaining in same blue, means its frequency is remaining same. What change happens is for wavelength. So this option, while wavelength remain constant, is cannot be correct. Frequency cannot change. Frequency changes, then the characteristic of the light changes. In glass, the frequency of light increases. Again, frequency is changing. Changing medium doesn't increases the frequency. In glass, wavelength of light increases while frequency remains unaltered. Wavelength cannot increase. If this is speed is decreasing, wavelength should also decrease. So this also cannot be the answer. In glass, wavelength of light decreases while frequency remains unaltered. This is the correct option we are left with. D is the correct answer here. Answer the seventh question first. What is the answer? It is a principal organ for absorption of nutrients. Most absorption of nutrients happens in digestive system where? It's in intestines. At least this much you should know. Now the confusion is between small intestine and large intestine. Either of these should be the answer. The digestion is completed in final products such as glucose, fructose, fatty acids, glycerol, amino acids are all absorbed to mucosa into the bloodstream and lymph. The answer here is small intestine. After all this absorption, the byproducts is being pushed into the large intestine in the digestive system. Last stage of digestive system is happens in the small intestine. We have solved yesterday question on the different orders of what happens at different levels of digestive system. You can go through the map if you want. Answer the 8th question first. What is the answer? What is a catalytic converter? Basically, if exhaust gas is there and you have to remove the harmful gases from this. Now this exhaust gas will be passed through catalytic converter so that the harmful gases will be converted into less harmful gases. Like if any carbon monoxide is there, it will be converted to CO2. Like that it happens. Now what kind of material it is made of? It is made of a mesh containing material with high level of catalytic property. Which this material are? Platinum, palladium or rhodium. These kind of materials are being used. These are rare materials, highly costly materials. That's why catalytic converter will always have higher cost. That is one reason why this is of high cost. It split up molecules after they leave car's engine before they get pumped into the air. That is what it does. It converts the harmful pollutants into less harmful pollutants. It speeds up removal of pollution. Speeds up removal of pollution, correct hai na? Pollutants, either both pollutants da. After exhaust it is coming, it is means high level of pollutants da, and after passing through catalytic converter these pollutants are being removed. It is more effective than unleaded petrol, in unleaded petrol. Very much correct statement, because leaded petrol means PB is there. PB is again act as a very much high reactivity with the catalytic mesh or these materials. So it will readily react and it will act as more effective reaction. Chromium is used in to make catalyst. Chromium can act as a catalyst, but in catalytic converter we need some compounds which is highly active, and these compounds are very limited. Chromium is not that much of a costly metal also. So chromium cannot be used in catalytic converter as a catalyst. This is the wrong statement. D is the correct answer here. Answer the 9th question first. Tell me what is answer? Very easy question. We have done this many times also. All these compounds are form a part of microbeads. What exactly is microbeads? Plastics with having diameter less than how much? 5 millimeter. This is called microbeads. Now what a dry fit sportswear like rubbers. Rubbers can disintegrate into microbeads. Soap will always soap. This cosmetic material always have some microbeads content. Sludge from sewage treatment, chemical industries also fit. Toothpaste, all these contribute to microbeads pollution in the ecosystem. Answer the 10th question. What is the answer? D. B, A, D. With respect to human body, consider the following statement. Iris controls the amount of light that enters the eye. What does iris does? Iris is a small opening within the eye pupil. Now what iris does is when light is dim, iris size will increase so that more light will go into it. So you can see even in the dim light. When there is light coming, when there is bright light in the room, then iris size will decrease because that much of light is not required. Small space, small amount of light will also give the vision. So this size control is what iris does. Correct statement. Rods in the eye are insensitive to dim light. Insensitive is wrong. Rods are something which helps you capture the rods, and cones are parts in this photosensitive part of the eye. And rods, what their role is? To capture the dim light vision. While cones, what their role is? To capture color. This statement is correct. This is incorrect. 1 and 3 is the correct answer. D is the answer. If you want to know more about eye, different parts of the eye and what function it does, you can go through the file, go through the image as well as the information. Pause the video and you can read the different parts and functions of the eye. You can take the photo if you want. Go ahead. Answer the 11th question first. What is the answer? What is the answer? B. Consider the following statement. Blue hydrogen uses natural flow of moving water to generate electricity. What is this? Natural blue hydrogen is produced by methane you are taking. Then methane is used by steam of flow of steam. Then it will convert to hydrogen and CO2 and other. This CO2 will be subjected to carbon sequestration. That's why we call it as blue hydrogen. This we discussed yesterday also. Absolutely wrong statement. Pink hydrogen is generated through electrolysis powered by electricity. Green hydrogen means energy for electrolysis comes from renewable energy. Pink means it comes from nuclear energy. Correct statement it is. Gray hydrogen is produced from fossil fuels, commonly uses steam methane reforming, SMR technique. Like methane, coal, from all this, if you are producing hydrogen, the same process is being subjected to. That is steam methane reforming method. Correct statement. Answer here is B. Answer the 12th question first. What is the answer? Tell me. C, D. So consider the following statement regarding nuclear DNA and mitochondrial DNA. So we have nuclear DNA, mitochondrial DNA. What is the difference between them? This will be in the nucleus of the cell. This will be in the mitochondria of the cell. What exactly this nucleus does? Nucleus contains the genetic information. So whatever DNA here it is, its main role is to store the genetic information. Hereditary role is the major role of this. Here what mitochondria does? Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. What powerhouse means? It controls the metabolism of the cell. So those DNA which required for controlling the metabolism of the cell That kind of DNA will be there in mitochondrial DNA. Rest, what are other properties you can say? This will be inherited from, this is the inherited DNA, so this will be inherited from both parents. That's why everyone's DNA is unique, because every time it is two different DNAs combined to form a new DNA of a baby. Here it will be inherited from mother only. Now what else? Here it will be a linear structure. Here it will be circular structure. Here it main the purpose is hereditary characteristics like physical characteristic. Here metabolism, all this will be. How much, this much basics, try to answer this question now. While mitochondrial DNA is maternally inherited, nuclear DNA is inherited equally from both parents. Correct statement. Nuclear is the hereditary characteristics it saves, so it is logically correct also. Two options we already eliminated. Now we are left with C and A. Mutation rate in nuclear DNA is much higher than in mitochondrial DNA. What do you say for this? Why? Here you have to save the hereditary characteristics. So this need integrity of DNA to be kept. It has to be preserved, like your height is this much, that characteristics has to be preserved. So that is one objective of nuclear DNA. So if that integrity has to be kept, the mutation means it will combine to form some new structure. So this combination process has to be restricted. If so much of combination and division process is happening, then the characteristic can change drastically. So nuclear DNA, the mutation level is low. While on mitochondrial DNA, the objective is metabolism control. So there is no objective to carry on this hereditary characteristic. So here the mutation level is high. Mutation DNA of nuclear DNA is much higher. That is wrong. Wrong statement it is. 2 is wrong, so you cancel out this also. You are only left with this. Singular nuclear DNA chromosome is much shorter than of nuclear chromosome. This is quite tough statement. Only if you know this. But if you have basic logics, or basic at least know what this mitochondrial and nuclear DNA is, you can get answer from the first two statements itself. Go ahead, if you want detailed comparison, you can pause the video and go through this. You can take pick if you want. First statement is correct now. First statement is correct. So our answer should have 1. So here there is no 1, here there is no 1. What you are saying? I found that the first statement is correct. My answer should have 1. Whichever option doesn't have 1, I will eliminate. B में 1 है, B I eliminate. D में 1 है. थर्ड गलत होने तो मुझे क्या प्रॉब्लम है? मेरे आंसर में 1 होना चाहिए. क्या बोल रहे? ये गलत नहीं है ना. ये this statement is correct. This statement is correct means none of the above is already not the answer, because one statement is basic definition of. Okay, you're saying some pairs, correct pairs will not be there in the answer. Like that comes in paper. I don't think so. इतना like test series में गलती से आ सकता है, but in UPSC papers this won't come. Like exact 2-3 is the correct option, but 2-3 is not in the statements given or the options given. Like that usually it doesn't come. Go ahead, answer the 13th question. Tell me what is answer? C. So consider the following with respect to X-rays. They travel in straight line. They do not carry any electric charge with them. Pretty much correct. There is electromagnetic radiation, like even sunlight has X-ray, not X-rays, like even the celestial bodies, sun, different emit X-rays. So we have these X-ray telescopes and all. It doesn't carry charge on its own. X-ray beam travels through air and comes in contact with body tissues and produces image on metal film. Very much correct. That's why we call it as exposure to X-rays, ionizes the cells in the body. That's why it's dangerous to have higher exposure or continuous exposure to X-rays. Both these statements are correct. So answer can be either of C and D. They are low frequency radiations that reside between ultraviolet and gamma rays. If you need to answer this, you need to have a broad idea of the electromagnetic spectrum. We have covered all this in this, some other like science and tech classes also. Like this is the broad picture of electromagnetic spectrum. Where these X-rays come? If you see this, if you are going from this direction to here, frequency is increasing. Frequency increasing means energy level is increasing. Highest energy level is for gamma rays, then come X-rays, then come UV rays. So it's sitting between UV rays and X-rays. After that, visible light is there, infrared, radio waves, microwaves and all is there. So this is the basic idea of electromagnetic spectrum. You should have to answer the third question, third statement. All these statements are correct. 1, 2 and 3 is the answer. Go ahead, answer the 14th question first. There it is not low, it should be high frequency radiation. So answer can be 1 and 2 only. Go ahead. High low is little subjective. That answer is little controversial. Go ahead. Anyway, understand that it lies between ultraviolet and gamma rays. What is the answer? 14, question number 14. Not correct is asked. D is the answer. We discussed this too much in last class also. Quantum science and difference between quantum science and classical physics. So qubits can take various values at one time and can perform calculations that a conventional computer cannot. That's the advantage of quantum computers at all. Or normal bits can only take 0 and 1. While these quantum bits can take any values within the range of 0 and 1. So technically it can take infinite number of values. That's why its computing power is much greater than normal computers. While bits can hold only, this is the same definition of superposition that is in the quantum sciences. Same as we discussed here. Answer, both these statements are correct. Not correct is asked, so answer is D. Answer the 15th question first. बताओ क्या आंसर है? क्या बोल रहा है? DA. Arrange the following metal in increasing order of electrical resistivity. Electrical resistivity is being asked. What is the general things you should know? Silver, gold and all these are high level of conductance itself. High level of conductance means electrical resistivity will be very low. So if you are ordering this in increasing order, this should come first. 3 should come first. Can I cut out these 2 options? Now you are left with either A or C. Now try to find what is the answer from this. We have mercury, tungsten and nickel. Which one can have higher resistance or lesser conductance, higher conductance? Batao? Few tungsten is used in electric bulb. Mercury have high resistivity. If you remember this much of the fact, comparing to all other metals, that is, mercury is a liquid metal in the room temperature. Its resistivity is much higher than other metals. So 4 should be your last option. Out of this, 4 is here only. This is the most feasible answer. C is the correct answer here. From silver, then comes tungsten, then nickel, then last highest electrical resistivity is for mercury. Go ahead, answer the 16th question. क्वेश्चन पेपर नहीं मिला? नहीं है? एक और प्रिंट करो. What is the answer? D. Anything else? बताओ. A. Consider the following statement about Navic. What is Navic? Positioning system. Like in GPS is of USA. So we have this indigenous positioning system, that is Navic. What is the range of this? These have worldwide range. While Navic has a range of Indian subcontinent plus 1500 kilometers around this. Now what else? GPS means the frequency ranges are very much adaptable to the mobile devices we are using. So this is, you can see in all the mobile phones. By here the frequency range is different from the normal phones can handle. That's why even though it's been some years Navic has been there, you will not find any Navic applications in day-to-day life. It's very difficult to find it. Military and other applications are much more compared to the civilian applications. It is developed by ISRO and DRDO. DRDO is not a part of it. It is an initiative that is solely developed by ISRO. So one cannot be there. 2 options are gone. Now B and C is there. Here 2 will decide. ISRO has built total of 9 satellites in IRNS series. This is very tough to answer because there is a fact, exact fact that is being asked, and this fact is correct. So since this fact is correct, we are having this you can only answer if you know it. Otherwise it's become very difficult. It provides restricted services, which is an encrypted services provided to authorized users. Like military application is one of the major applications of this Navic program. Including civilian application, there is high precision military application dedicated frequencies allotted for this also. So here answer is C, 2 and 3. Answer the 17th question first. बताओ. A. Anything else? C. With reference to nuclear energy, consider the following statement. Nuclear energy is 5th largest source of electricity for India. Now this statement has some subjectivity. Again, very subjective option. Why? Because if you look at the graph of India's energy production, the most common source is coal. Around 59-60% of India's electric generation is coming from coal. Nobody has doubt in this. Second highest is coming from hydroelectricity, 17%. Now, if you take all the renewable energy as a single source, then it is the third highest source with 12%. Fourth is natural gas with 9%, and fifth will be nuclear with 2%. This statement is correct if you take the whole renewable energy together. But if you split it into solar, wind and all, then the whole dynamics changes. Then the nuclear will not be fifth one. For time being, we are taking it as a right statement. Cooling towers in nuclear plants do not release any pollutant or radioactive substance into the atmosphere. Now, what exactly is cooling towers? Have you gone through nearby any nuclear plants? You will see some very big structures like this. Everything small structures will not be visible, but this will be visible for a long range. And what exactly this is? These are the cooling towers. What it does? Thing is, you should notice there is emissions coming from this. What cooling tower does is, it does cooling. Basically, cooling of what? There will be hot water which has to be recirculated and you have to cool it. What it does is, there will be a pump here. This pump will put air, take normal atmospheric air and put into this XYZ, and the water will be sprayed from the top. So water will coming like this, air will go like this. This air will be cool air and hot water will be coming. So in this exchange, the air get heated up and air will take up some of the water as steam and will go out as you can see this emissions coming out. Now since this is going into atmosphere, this is an open system. You cannot have this any substance within this as radioactive. There cannot be any radioactivity within any of the water or coolant or any of the XYZ that is used inside the cooling tower. This is a simple mechanical structure with nothing to do with radioactivity or fission, fusion or anything. So second, cooling towers in nuclear plants do not release any pollutant and radioactive substance into atmosphere. This is correct statement. It even releases only steam and air. Ideal cooling towers will not even have this carbon dioxide. It will be only emitting steam and air into the atmosphere. Both the statements are correct. C is the answer. Go ahead, answer the 18th question first. Very simple question. बताओ क्या आंसर है? C. What is binary star system? There will be two stars and these two stars will be rotating on a common center. We discussed this in science center class also. And this can or cannot have planets. There can be planets around one star or may not be there is planet around one star. And one of the star will have bigger size and one will be smaller size. The bigger size is primary star and this is secondary star. Under binary system, two stars orbit around a common center of mass. Very much correct. In binary star system, the brightest star is officially classified as primary. Both these statements are correct. This is a simple diagrammatic representation of binary star system. Answer the 19th question first. बताओ. Both the statements are correct. What is J.J. Thomson model of atom? J.J. Thomson model of atom is atoms consist of a big positive sphere. In this, electrons are embedded. Total number of positive charge and negative charge is equal, but the atom as a whole contains a ball of positive sphere and these electrons are embedded into it. This is the J.J. Thomson model of atom. J.J. Thomson suggested that electrons electrons are necessary constituent of all atoms. Very much correct. Now what this Rutherford does? Rutherford does the famous gold foil experiment. What the gold foil experiment is? Very thin, he took a very thin gold foil and passed the what kind of rays? Alpha particles or alpha rays in through this. So if this is the model of atom, what he expects? This positive charge will absorb this or deflect this alpha rays that are coming. If the atom model is like this, then most of the alpha rays that is coming would have been deflected from this positive side, or some will be absorbed, some will be reflected back. So what you expect is 90% of alpha waves that is coming will be reflected or absorbed by this big positive sphere of atom as per J.J. Thomson. But what the experimental result was? Around 95% of the rays pass through the gold foil with no deflection. So what does it indicates? The atom of the positive part is very small compared to the overall size of the atom. If overall size of the atom is like this, here there will be electrons moving around. The positive part is only a very small part of it, and this small part is called nucleus. It contains protons as well as neutrons. Both these statements are correct. C is the correct answer. Answer the 20th question first. Very easy question again. Which of the following are applications of nanotechnology? Making DNA sequencing more efficient. How? Tagging of DNA, tagging of molecules, all this can happen. Making faster microchips, like biochips, all are applications of nanotechnology. Detection of cancer, like nano dyes are coming. These dyes can be injected into the body, or specimen can be tested under this, and this will give clear indication of presence of cancer cells at very early stages itself. All these are applications of nanotechnology. D is the correct answer. Answer the 21st question first. What is the answer? C. Consider the following statements regarding trans fat. What exactly is trans fat? What is trans form? There is unsaturated bonds in it. Unsaturated bonds means? Saturated bonds means only single bond will be there. If there is presence of single and triple bonds, double and triple bonds, such fat we call it as unsaturated bonds. Normally natural fats has mostly single bonds. It is saturated. Now unsaturated, why we are producing this? Because the shelf life is higher. Because the food items of unsaturated food looks good, colorful it can look. So due to different applications, we are producing this unsaturated or trans fat. What else? What happens to cholesterol level? There is two level of cholesterol. So one is LDL. LDL is bad cholesterol. Bad cholesterol level increases with usage of trans fat, and HDL is good cholesterol. It level decreases with usage of trans fat. Now they are a form of saturated fat. Is the form of saturated fat? Unsaturated. Wrong statement. It increases bad cholesterol, lowers good cholesterol. So much correct statement. Freedom from trans fats at 75 aims at reducing consumption of trans fat by 2025. So much fact is there, so much data is there. Freedom at 75, which year was 25? It was 2022. So something having 75 will have a target of 2022, not 25. You can guess by that way. And the target exactly was 0%, complete elimination of trans fat by 2022, not even reduction of it. You can guess the answer from either elimination, you remember it, or if it's at 75 target means mostly the target will be for 2022 year. So this is a wrong statement, 2 only is the correct answer. Answer the 22nd question first. What is the answer? Consider the following statement with respect to Internet Protocol version 6. Now IPv, you might have come across this in computers, laptops or mobile phones, and there is option in laptop to select Internet Protocol. Which all options you see there? IPv4 will be there and IPv6 will be there. Mostly you will not find F5. Where 5 gone? 5 is not being used. It was a test version. It was due to issues. This was not properly implemented. Most of about 95% of this application today, computer applications or internet protocols work on either IPv4 and IPv6. Now it uses 156-bit internet protocol address. See, bit means it works in multiples of 32. Either you will see that 32-bit system, 64-bit system is there, or you can see 64 or 128 or 256. It goes like this. 156 is quite a random number for bit comparing to bit perspective. And there is a fact also. So mostly this is a wrong statement. We eliminated this. Currently the most popular IP is Internet Protocol version 5. If 4 or 6 is being asked, it would have been a very confusing statement. If you have at least seen this, you are sure that 5 is not even seen in your normal computers or mobile phones. So this exactly is a wrong statement. 2 is also a wrong statement. We are only left with it. Offers more stability and security. Like protocol, why we are following a certain protocol is to have stability and security to the system. 3 is only correct statement. A is the answer. Answer the 23rd question first. Very easy, straightforward question. What is the answer? India's first cattle genomic chip is called INDIGAV. Now who developed this? National Institute of Animal Biotechnology, Hyderabad. They developed this specific chip that is to track indigenous versions of cattle. It is a part of Atmanirbhar Bharat program also to promote indigenous cattle breeds. That is the primary objective of this. Answer the 24th question first. He Adipol. Answer the questions. Again a very question from the basics. What is the answer? A. C. If you compare DNA and RNA, what is DNA? Deoxyribonucleic acid. RNA is ribonucleic acid. It will be double-stranded DNA. Ribonucleic acid, RNA will be single-stranded. Deoxyribose will be the base sugar of DNA. Ribose will be base sugar of RNA. It will have 4 bases adenine, thymine and guanine and cytosine. While RNA will be having adenine, guanine will be same, uracil and cytosine will be there. Only one is different, uracil will be different instead of thymine. Function is DNA carries or stores the genetic information. Here the function is translation or transforming the information from the nucleus of the cell to other part of the different body, carrying the genetic information. That is the role of RNA. Locally this is found in nucleus as well as mitochondria. This is found in nucleus as well as other part of the cytoplasm of the cell. More stability is with DNA. DNA remains stable for longer period of time, while RNA is for completing a process only. That is the role of RNA. After the process, RNA dies out or get converted into amino acids, proteins and all. Replicate conservatively, replicate semi-conservatively. This is like what happens is DNA means the objective is storing the XYZ particle. So here the amount of replication will be restricted. Now the transcription and translation, this is mostly associated with RNA, not with DNA. This much of basics, if you know, you can answer this question very fast. DNA is located in the nucleus while RNA is formed in the cytoplasm of the cell. Is it correct? Absolutely correct statement. So two options you can eliminate. Now we are left with 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 3. DNA does not replicate on its own while RNA replicates on its own. DNA also can replicate on its own. All parts of the cell can replicate on its own. If a cell is dividing into two, DNA also can replicate on its own. So this is a wrong statement. We are left with 1 and 2 only. DNA is double stranded while RNA is single stranded. Very simple statement it is. Go ahead, answer the 25th question. Lengthy question. Adipol, write the question number also. 25 is B. What is the answer? Metaverse. What does metaverse does? Virtual environment. Plus it integrates all other data points. That is account like with different social media, with different virtual reality, augmented reality, all the system data it integrates and creates a virtual identity for every activity, every individual, every person. So this collective integrated world system, we call it as metaverse. The whole definition of metaverse is being given here. Answer here is metaverse. Answer the 26th question first. Correct. Is recording available? Recording will be available. You can contact the Kalam phone number. Answer the 26th question. Difference between augmented reality and virtual reality. We discussed this too many times. What is the difference? In augmented reality, there will be some XYZ connection with the physical world. Like if I wear an augmented reality glass, I will still be seeing you. Maybe you may have extra characteristics. Digital characteristics will also be part of it. Like Pokemon Go. There is this Pokemon Go. What was the name of that? Whatever it is. That Pokemon Go animal was placed in real some streets and all. That means physical reality is a part of the augmented reality. While virtual reality means that is completely virtual space, like it is has no XYZ connection with physical reality. If I wear a virtual reality glass, I will be completely transform my experience into a totally different world or totally different universe. What is happening in the real world, I don't want to mind it. Hope this is clear. Answer the 26th question. What is answer here? cookie, the term cookie in internet sphere is related to? Very easy question. You come across this every day, might be. If you are opening any site, cookies accept karo, it will come. It is a communication standard that enables application and programs, computing devices to exchange messages over internet. Cookies means something you accept it. It cannot be a standard. If it is like an IP standard, it will be set within this internet. You don't need to accept it for every website you access. So this cannot be a defined standard of it. It is a cyber attack. It cannot be a cyber attack. You are encountering it every day. Entering any XYZ website will, most website will ask you to save the cookies. So this cannot be a cyber attack. Maybe some cookies are used for cyber attack, but the definition of cookie cannot be a cyber attack or related to cyber attack. It is the information that a website puts on a user's computer for session management and tracking purposes. Very much correct statement. This is the answer for definition of cookies. It is the information the website saves in your computer, and next time when you access it, use this information. You have better access to the services depending on your pattern of web searching and all this. It is an application layer. This is all confusing statement, not correct. C is the correct answer here. Go ahead, answer the 27th question. 26C is the correct answer. This is like a current affairs from pandemic year. If you remember it, it will become very easy question. Otherwise, it's quite tough question. 27, question number 27. What is the answer? बताओ. A, B, और कुछ? Mucormycosis. It becomes very easy if you can remember this as other common name for this. What is it? Black fungus. It was common, it was a danger during the pandemic year. And the news was that some state has declared a pandemic of black fungus also. Now try to answer this. It is a viral infection. No, it is a fungal infection. So two options already gone. It does not spread from one person to another. It's via aerosols. Sometimes you don't know. Take it as you don't know. It has never been declared. If you have at least remember, recollect the news during the pandemic. It has been, some states has came up with declaring black fungus also as a pandemic. So this is the wrong statement. You can eliminate this. We are only left with two only, that is C. Does not spread from one person to another via aerosols. It is not a communicable disease. Go ahead, answer the 28th question. 27B is not the correct answer. C is the correct answer. Answer the 28th question. Adipol. Quite very straightforward, easy question. What is the answer? Unmanned aerial vehicles, or you can call it as drones, detecting crop health, very much applicable. Even some private companies are coming up which go and take the pictures of the crop and get you the information regarding what is the status of harvest and date of harvest and all. Monitoring unpredictable weather, very much applicable in case of some weather incidents happen and insurance claim is being asked. So the whole area can be covered by a single drone, and all this has been being in use. Helpful in insurance claim settlements. That's what I'm delivering a product to the consumers. Amazon and all is drone delivery of products that is being explored, even though that is not commercially implemented, but the possibility exists. So all these statements are correct. 1, 2, 3, and 4 is the correct answer. Answer the 29th question first. 28D is the correct answer. Answer 29th question. What is the answer? What is the answer? D. What is the possible reason for radio jammer blocking and disrupting wireless communications? What does a jammer does? We already discussed in that light question. Electromagnetic light is there. When light travels from one medium to another, what is the peculiar characteristic that doesn't change? Frequency. So if frequency is being changed or frequency is being altered, the whole characteristics of signal or wave become different. So if you want to jam a signal, you go to that frequency and interfere with that frequency. The signal is sent to you at 182.5 megahertz. Now if you want to design a jammer, then you create another signal there for 182.5 megahertz on exactly same frequency. So these will go both interfere and the output will be noise. This is how jammers work. Basics you know, it becomes very easy. The electromagnetic device in jammers attracts all signals in the area. It cannot attract all signals. It transmits signals with specific frequencies. The frequency of jamming devices matches with phone frequency. Keep in hold. The lower frequency of the phone is reflected cannot हो सकता है. The jammer increases the wavelength cannot हो सकता है. So best feasible option here is the frequency of jamming device matches with phone frequency. Even it is not phone frequency, this is in case of jamming of phone, or the radio signal frequency should be the more correct statement. C, B is the correct answer for 29 question. So answer the 30th question. 29 is not A. 29 answer is B. Answer the last question. Lucy mission also we discussed recently. Should be easy to answer this. With respect to Lucy mission, consider the following statement. It aims to explore Trojan asteroids along Jupiter's orbital path. What is Trojan asteroids? Like we told that something which is kept on Lagrangian point. What is Lagrangian point? The centripetal force will be equal to the combined gravitational force created by the two celestial bodies. And two bodies have four Lagrange points around them, two celestial body systems. Now if something is kept in this Lagrange point, it will stay there without giving any extra energy. So Jupiter is having very huge size, very huge mass and very high gravity. So the Lagrange point of Jupiter is substantial amount of mass asteroids it carries. So these asteroids are called as Trojans. Now Lucy mission is a NASA mission to study these Trojans. It is launched by NASA, very much correct. It is used to study the Trojans, very much correct. The mission will help in understanding origin and evolution of solar system, very much correct, because these are like age frozen. Asteroids are called as frozen age system. Like how it was at the beginning of the formation of solar system, that is the same constituent of asteroids right now also. So if you want to study the origin, you go and study the asteroids. So all these statements are correct. Answer here is D. So that's all for now. So this will be the completion of regular part of this EKLAVYA program. We will have the pending current affairs classes, 2 more classes, Saturday evening classes will be there from now on. Okay, that's all for now. Thank you so much.